Good morning. Sergeant First Class Reginald Knight retired, reporting. 250 years ago, actually 250 years and a month ago, the American Revolution began against the British. Why? Primarily, there was concern about taxation without representation, and there was growing resentment in the colonies because they didn't have any say on how they were going to be taxed and what they were going to be taxed on, and it just made an untenable situation. Well, similar circumstances exist right now because, regardless of the rhetoric, regardless of the spin in the White House, tariffs are taxes that are imposed on American consumers. And no one got to say so that they were going to pay these additional taxes. And in some cases, they get a double whammy. They get taxed from the original source, and then by the time they get here, whoever imports those products pays those tariffs directly and then spread that cost to the consumer. Also, is that this White House is becoming increasingly erratic. I invite each and every one of you to pull up the West Point graduation speech, for lack of a better word, that President so-called Trump did yesterday. It was completely unhinged, completely unprofessional, and it was worse than word salad. It was a garbage can mixed into a toilet in a dumpster fire. We have very similar circumstances that ignited a revolution that lasted for 8 years, cost thousands of American lives, and it changed the course of history. So now here we are. We are without friends in the Western world, is that we have our own government arresting citizens because of what they don't like, just like they did back in 1775 with the British, restricting how students think, learn, how professors teach. Very similar circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a student of history, and this is a powder keg. And it's not a question of if it's going to explode, it's a question of when and where is going to be the epicenter of the blast and who's going to be affected by all this. Short answer is everybody's going to be affected. Because right now, those Chinese ships are still not moving into ports along the Gulf Coast, not in Los Angeles, not in Philadelphia, and shortages are imminent. And I guarantee you, those that are pro-Trump supporters, once they start to go without, they're going to scream the loudest. Confrontation is coming, folks. I don't see how it can be avoided now. I continue to urge you to contact your senators and congressmen to have them to take that provision out of the bill that gives Trump full immunity to ignore the Supreme Court. But in the meantime, this is a warning order. Prepare yourself, prepare your family, gather what supplies you can, and sit tight. Because this situation is untenable. It's not a question of if it's going to explode. It's a question of when. And who is going to be the catalyst to cause the implosion. We know Donald Trump is one catalyst. We just don't have that other variable yet. Sergeant First Class Reginald Knight, retired, reporting. If you like my videos, please like, share, and follow me on YouTube. Have a good day.